Hi guys, Mike Dixon from Stoneage Bushcraft out in the woods once again. What I wanted to do today, for the next couple of days that I'm here, I've just had a few questions about my routine in the woods, and I've been coming to the woods for so many years now. It is second nature, so I just do the things that I need to do. I never really think about it, so what I thought I'd do is just talk about it on the video. So on my walk in, generally I'm carrying quite a bit. Right now I have hiked in many litres of water. That's just because I sweat quite a bit, and the weather is very flippant, so it can be very hot one time, and on the flip side it could be very wet, windy, cold, so I need a lot of water. That's cold or warm, in form of a warm drink or just warm water. That being said, obviously I've got to sweat quite a bit carrying all this in. So generally when I get to camp, what I first do, I look above all the trees, check them for dead branches. And I'm doing that on the way in really. When I get close, maybe a mile away or a kilometre away say, I'm just checking around. Is there anyone following me? Is there any dog walkers around? Because what I don't want is people following me in. Disrupts what I want to do. And obviously I've got edge tools in my bag, and generally that can cause a bit of chaos with some people that aren't used to it. Luckily in my area it's a farming community, forestry community, and people are very good round here. So with that being said, I get to my area, I check up. Generally I know what the weather's going to be like, so I don't live far from an inlet where the sea and the weather from the sea will bring all sorts. We're talking 40 to 80 mile an hour winds, which are cold, driving rain, driving sleet, and on the other side it can be very calm and very hot. So I always want to know what the weather's going to be like. That kind of dictates what I do when I get to camp. So I know what the weather's going to be like. If it's going to rain, tarp up straight away, like I have done today. I got here about half an hour ago. I tried to film a clip and it didn't work. The battery ran out, which corrupted the file. So how I've got it set up is a 12 volt battery. I think I've shown in a past video. So hopefully the battery will charge at some point, so I don't have to have all these leads attached to it. So shelter up. Generally I don't walk in with my knife on my belt, so it's all in my bag. So I get to camp, I set up the tarp, I put my knife on my belt, my axe on my belt, and whatever pouch I brought out with me for my possibles kit or firelighting kit. That all goes on my belt. I then get my first aid kit and put it where it's accessible, because I'm going to be using my edge tools, and I always want it out where I can see it. I'm then going to either change my top. I wear a synthetic wicking layer on the way in, and want to change it when I get here. I still haven't done that yet, just because I want to show you guys. It does get very, very wet, and at the moment half an hour my bag's been off, the top's nearly dry, so probably not going to need to change it just yet. I will change into a different top when I go to bed. Seeing if the weather's coming in now. So depending on how much work I've got to do, how much wood I've got to collect, if I've done all the heavy exertion or exercise, I will change my socks. I will dry my feet, change my socks, put my boots back on. Because feet, you've really got to look after your feet. You're walking around on them all day, every day, and you should look after them. They look after you. After that, I want to set up my hammock and tarp. And during all of this, I'm eating snacks and I'm drinking water just to hydrate. Obviously I've sweated quite a lot on the way in. I'm then going to prepare my fire and get my fire lit and going with hot water on the boil. And that's kind of what I need to do now because the weather is coming in, so I need to get my hammock and tarp set up, or at least my tarp, because my hammock could be set up underneath the tarp, which is fine. I'm going to do all that and I'll get back to you. Right, so this is where I'm sleeping. This is a Rab seal nylon tarp. It's the Seal Tarp 2. I've got a Life Venture hammock. It's the same one as my grey one, just black. I am in the market for looking for a new one. My underquilt that I made myself. My clothes. All the warm kit. Obviously the bag hanging on the tripod as I normally do. Quick pan around the woods, and there is the fire going with my Pathfinder pot. Getting used to that thing. So this is a DD 3x3 brown tarp. My MSR geometry bag, and right now how I've got it set up under here, all my food and water, waterproof axe, there's my mats sitting on, camera box, my head torch and some cordage, battery pack and first aid kit, and there is my makeshift tripod. And that has my warm kit in, hat, gloves, schmog. That's me. That is my setup. And the water's just boiled, so I'm gonna get a brew. So, I am pretty much set up for the rest of the night, I reckon. Loads of wood. And do you know, I don't really sit around the fire until midnight, so I don't need loads of wood, and I keep my fires nice and small. I don't need a roaring fire, not even if it's cold. I don't really need a roaring fire. What I will do is just drop a reflective blanket from the top down just behind me, just as a bit of a reflector. So I didn't actually get the rain, which is a good thing. Just allowed me to get all the wood I need. So there's loads of spiders. Haven't really been here that long, and there are webs everywhere. Not that that's a really bad thing, but anyhow. So those of you that are following me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you would have seen a few photos and videos go up already. Shows the size of the fire. I was just cooking some sausages. In my titanium plate. I just washed that up. Went and collected some more wood. And my routine now is basically take loads of pictures, just because generally I never took a lot of pictures before, and I always regret it when I get home and I haven't got picture documented time in the woods. Hopefully my camera's going to last. The battery set that this was set up off of, yes, I carried this into the woods. Stupidly I should have checked it, although it was working fine first off, so I'm just running off this battery, and then possibly have to use my phone, so you may see a difference in recording quality. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest, but I think they both record in the same 720 or 1080, whatever I set it to. I try and get it consistent, but we will see. Feels like the weather is coming in again. So what's new? Well, not much really. My kit hasn't really changed, to be honest. I don't particularly spend much money on any kit. I've just recently purchased a few bits off someone off my Facebook bushcraft selling page, which is Ben Orford pouches and stuff. So I've kind of gone back to the leather pouch, and I've wanted one of these for ages, so let's get it off. Basically, this is a Ben Orford Possibles pouch, or fire kit pouch. Really nice pouch. You've seen my Ben Orford Laplander pouch. And then what I have, well, obviously I've got the Ben Orford belt. It's a really nice, well made belt. And now, I've never had the opportunity to really try one of these out, but this is the Ben Orford hatchet carrier. It has a dangler loop here, and I've got the leather bit on my belt, and a belt loop here. I've always wanted to try it out. Not sure whether I like it or not, to be honest. Obviously I'm using my wildlife hatchet, and this was an axe cover that someone made for me for it's AC Flutes, something like that. Fantastic cover, it's lasted me years, and it's taken a battering. I've taken these all over. I've got one for my small forest axe as well. The reason I bought this one, just because I brought so much weight out, so I thought I'd just bring my hatchet out, and it pretty much does everything I need it to with a saw. I've only used it twice, beveling the tripod, just cut a log. So it's probably best that I didn't bring a small forest axe. But yeah, I've got that. So you're probably gonna ask, my knife I would never change. I don't think I haven't bought a fixed blade knife, and I've seen quite a few I like. The Mora Garberg's probably one that I would buy, but to be honest with you, I don't need it, so I'm not going to buy it. This is my Stoneage Bushcraft winter chili knife. It's my most used and abused knife, and what I've done here is just for when I'm wearing gloves. Actually, it's just to hold the bottom, and it just gives me that little bit with gloves on to pull it out and then get a good grip of it. So that's pretty much worn just to my right hand side of my groin, so it's kind of right there on my leg. Makes it easily accessible, and I just pull it across my body to pull it out, and same again when I put it back. Fantastic knife. I wouldn't change anything about it. And obviously there's a lot of criticism actually, because it hasn't got the Bushcraft fire steel holder. Now I've got that on the Stoneage Bushcraft knife original, and I don't use that knife, to be honest, and I don't really like the fire steel on my knife, on my knife pouch. Where I like it is in my pocket, so it's always on me. Yeah. That's my fire steel. It is attached with a key keeper with about a foot long bit of cord, carabiner on my trouser belt, and that doesn't go anywhere. That stays in my pocket all the time. Obviously for the woods. I don't carry one of these out with me everywhere I go. So there is the little belt keeper for the axe sheath, or the holder, the axe holder. Max Position dump pouch, it's the medium. I've got the 4-inch tack ties, just makes it dangle that little bit further down, makes it easier to put stuff in, and I'll never be without a dump pouch in the woods. They're amazing bits of equipment, carry all sorts everywhere. That was my saw pouch. Now the Ben Orford Possibles pouch has a Sam stud closure, which is quite easy to open. I actually got it caught up on a branch and it opened it earlier. That's a little bit annoying, but hey ho. So I have, it's my fire lighting implements, 2 bits of fat wood. This is the ones from Mora with the fire kit. I've got loads of these things, so I really like carrying them about, and I pretty much use them every time I light a fire. Right, some cordage. I use this stuff for everything now. It's thin, it binds really well, and I've got it holding up this tarp at the moment, or guide out. Obviously I've got a rope holding it up. My Leatherman Surge. Didn't really bring the pouch out, so I just shoved it in my this pouch. Ceramic sharpening rod. Bic lighter, and you can see I've got a cable tie. Just pressing that down. Just because of the multi-tool in there, can easily discharge everything. Just in case I need it, I have a fire steel striker with a lanyard. Have some sewing needles, got a sail needle and a few smaller needles and a smaller sail needle as well. So the free edge cutter needles. Some Kevlar thread on a bobbin. Now, let me just get this out. I have a silicone bead pouch, desiccant pouch, and now I have a range of firelighting implements. These are what I made, it's Vaseline cotton balls. Excuse the helicopter. Some wax balls. A few tampons. That's what I used to light my fire earlier, as well as some wax card. And I use a range of these to light my fires. Just because if I want the fire lit, I'll light it. I won't faff around. I've been playing with fire for years, and as long as you get all your preparation done, get all your bits of wood, your twigs, fire's easy, even in the pissing down rain. It's all preparing and getting your tinder right. So that's my pouch. Easy. You can see mostly firelighting, because to me that's important. I carry my shelter in my bag, and that's the only fire kit I carry other than my fire still in my pocket. Right, what else have I got? So I think I've shown these before. Little Swiss Army knife. Has no saw. This thing has 2 blades, scissors, bottle opener, can opener, tweezers, toothpick, a useless corkscrew, and all with a hole in it, and another useless item, I don't even know, a hook. So 2 things on that that's useless to me. I'm not saying it's useless to everyone. Someone might find a use for it. That's what lives in my pocket at the moment. I've still got the pegs and peg bag from setting up camp earlier, so I'll shove them in my rucksack. In one of my pockets I've got a carabiner. It's generally what I put on my saw. Wallet, notepad, pen. I have got the Olight S10R with me, an E-light, chewing gum, and my iPhone 6C, I think it is, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, that's all I've got on me.